Excuse me. You were in my car! Were you in my car?
A woman out shopping in University City catches a car prowler in the act. How her actions led police to a truck full of stolen goods.
And shocked customers find one of their favorite local spots suddenly closed. What they're saying about the raid targeting the cafe's employees. Plus,
go ban a plastic straw or something.
Protesters demand a repeal of California's new gig worker law before meeting with its author. How Lorena Gonzalez is trying to clear up confusion surrounding her bill. But first, a wrongful death suit is revealing new details about an armored truck driver who ran over and killed a young woman in La Jolla 2 years ago.
lawyers for the victim's family filed the new motion after finding the driver had a checkered driving record. Our 10 News reporter Rena Nakano joins us from La Jolla, where the crash happened in 2018. And Rena, attorneys are claiming his supervisors knew about his record, yet they still hired him.
Yeah, that's right, Steve. Months before the fatal crash happened right here at La Jolla Village Square, they claim that the supervisors knew about those red flags and still continued to employ them. And they say Michaela Jones paid the ultimate price for that poor decision. Shocking new allegations against the driver and his supervisors in the wrongful death suit of 22-year-old Michaela Jones, a woman who was run over by a Garda armored vehicle in 2018.
This is a man who should have never been driving this armored vehicle that weighs in excess of 10,000 pounds.
On April 17, 2018, Jones was celebrating her birthday at La Jolla Village Square with her boyfriend. At around 5 p.m., she went into the parking lot. According to the lawsuit, there she was struck twice by a Garda driver.
The Garda driver testified that he saw Michaela before he struck her. But because he was going around the turn too fast, he didn't have time to stop. And even after he knocked her down the first time, he kept going.
Thursday, San Diego County Court granted the motion to amend the complaint to include negligent entrustment. That parent company, Garda CL West, wrongfully trusted a man with only 2 to 4 hours of on-the-road training and a checkered driving record to drive a 10,000-pound car.
This was a person who, just prior to being hired by Garda, was pulled over and convicted of a speeding violation. They knew about that. Nonetheless, they hired him anyway. And within 19 days of being hired by this company, he got into his first crash, also in a parking lot.
Jones' family attorney claims the driver was verbally warned but was allowed to continue driving. 7 months later, he hit and killed Michaela Jones. 10 News contacted Garda. They sent a brief statement that reads, quote, "As this matter is currently before the courts, we will not provide any comment." Now, we are not naming the driver today because he was never criminally charged. Now, according to the suit, after the crash, the driver received a 30-day paid suspension, but he is no longer with the company. The family is also suing the shopping center, La Jolla Village Square, saying that they did not have enough safety signs for those pedestrians. The civil trial is set to begin on April 10th. Reporting live in La Jolla tonight, I'm Rena Nakano. 10 News.
Rita, thank you. This is not the first time Garda has been sued for wrongful death. Last year, it settled with a Texas woman whose husband was killed when a Garda truck crashed into his motorcycle. She claimed the driver made a sudden left turn from the far right lane, causing the crash. Attorneys argued that Garda has a history of not vetting drivers adequately. Attorneys for both parties announced a settlement while the jury was deliberating that case. San Diego police have made an arrest in the murder of a 16-year-old boy in Rancho Bernardo. Last March, police found the teenager lying in the middle of Crested Drive near the intersection of Rancho Bernardo and Pomerado roads. Police initially thought the boy had been killed in a traffic accident, but after an autopsy, the medical examiner determined it was a homicide. Investigators have not said exactly how the boy was killed, but they do say today that 19-year-old Angel Ramirez of Escondido was arrested yesterday for the murder. He'll be in court tomorrow.
We pulled up hungry and ready for a lovely breakfast. Even brought our own cream cheese to put on the bread.
A popular Point Loma cafe closed its doors for good after ICE busted them for apparently hiring undocumented workers. 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala is live outside Con Pane, where stunned customers have been showing up all day. Mimi?
And Kimberly, many people have been coming here for years, so a lot of people really saddened by this. Customers have been showing up here all day long. Some of them left flowers, some of them left notes. You can see that one on the door there says everyone is welcome here. All of them very surprised at this sudden closure.
So it's really sad that they got in trouble.
Really surprised about the immigration status.
I'm heartbroken for everybody.
Each customer stunned to see their favorite cafe, Konpane, shut its doors after 20 years in business. Many family traditions now shattered.
Growing up, we used to go here every Sunday after church.
I'm not kidding. I mean, I am sad.
The cafe has been in Point Loma since 1999 and moved into Liberty Station in 2010. People calling in Thursday were left with this message.
Konpane has permanently closed the cafe. We appreciate and will miss every one of you.
Wednesday, a Facebook post on the cafe's page revealed it was permanently closing after an I-9 audit by immigration authorities. They say the audit resulted in the discovery of a large number of unauthorized workers, which disrupted operations, forcing them to close.
I didn't see anything, out of the ordinary employee-wise.
They have some very hard-working employees in there. The place is very busy, and these people just don't pause.
In the U.S., new hires are required to complete an I-9 form, verifying their identification and showing that they are legally authorized to work here in the U.S. I reached out to ICE, and they do not confirm audits on specific businesses, but did say the agency is stepping up efforts to enforce laws that prohibit businesses from hiring illegal workers.
I'm still in shock.
It's unclear why the owner decided to shut down for good, but many customers are hoping they'll one day see a return.
Point Loma Bull will live in my heart forever.
And ICE says it will continue to use I-9 audits and civil fines to encourage compliance with the law. Right now, it is still unclear exactly how many employees lost their jobs with this abrupt closure. We're live in Point Loma. Mimi Alcala, 10 News.
Mimi, thank you. President Trump's impeachment trial is set to begin Tuesday, even as the parameters surrounding it are still being debated. Today, Chief Justice John Roberts was sworn in as the presiding officer over the trial. He then swore in the senators who will serve as jurors. Also today, the Government Accountability Office, a federal government watchdog, concluded that the Trump administration broke the law by withholding aid to Ukraine. In our weather, cooler today with light showers. They are developing overnight.
Meteorologist Angelica Campos is also tracking a wind advisory about to take effect about 7 o'clock.
That's right, almost here. It's already been windy through the afternoon in areas like Julian, and the rain still north of LA, but it's going to be here tonight. A close look at our satellite and radar. You can see that rain just making its way north of LA. And as that front continues sweeping south, it'll bring the chance of rain overnight. But ahead of that front, windy conditions for our mountains with a wind advisory beginning at 7 p.m. and continuing through tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. Winds could reach speeds of up to 55 miles per hour. That would be strong enough to bring down trees and power lines. The winds so far averaging 19 miles an hour in Julian, 13 in Alpine, and about 12 in Mount Laguna. But in Borrego Springs, 25-mile-an-hour winds. So it's already getting windy out there ahead of our wind advisory. I'll pinpoint how that rain is going to play out overnight and also for the morning commute.
Thank you, Angelica. Protesters are pushing for the repeal of the state's new gig worker law, which took effect at the start of the year. They gathered outside the state building downtown demanding a fix for AB 5. It requires companies to classify anyone who performs a job for them as an employee rather than an independent contractor. Some protesters say that had a negative effect on their lives.
This is not okay. It's not okay to take our livelihoods away from us. It's not okay to tell us how to live our lives. You know, go ban a plastic straw or something. Just leave our work out of it.
San Diego Assemblywoman Lorena Gonzalez authored the bill, saying it's based on a Supreme Court ruling from 2 years ago. She says the bill clarifies state laws that already existed. She spoke to us in her office today about questions surrounding one of the bill's main provisions.
There is nothing in the bill that prevents an individual or a group of people to form a small business. And by forming a small business, an individual, and that's the law as it should be, they are able to contract with other businesses.
Assemblywoman Gonzalez also says she's working on a companion bill, AB 1850, which she says will clarify the law even more.
Turning now to a 10 News follow-up, the San Diego Sheriff's Department had arrested the man in this cell phone video you're about to see. The woman who recorded that video said that the man in it, Corey Terry, came to her Pacific Beach apartment in November, claiming to be raising money for missionary work. She said that she was suspicious and turned him away, then went to warn her neighbor when Terry went to her door. That's when she said Terry took a swing at her. San Diego police eventually put out a warrant for Terry's arrest. Deputies arrested him a week ago.